Hello, everybody. So, I put that engine together. I re-ringed it and put new exhaust valves and stuff in it and got it to where it could be driven and everything. And for 2 years, I had two different carburetors on it. I've had multiple different distributors in it. Um, it runs fine. It's not a powerhouse. It's not gonna pull down the barn or nothing, but it runs good enough, and it moves the car around and gets decent gas mileage for a big block. And it runs. But that's a 72 intake because it's a 72 engine. Uh, it's got a carburetor adapter on it. I don't like carburetor adapters. Carburetor adapters, they don't, that kind anyway. It kind of kills your instant throttle response because, well, spacers are for RPM. They're not for torque. They're for higher RPM horsepower. They're not for bottom end pulling. And this engine rarely goes above 3,000 RPM. So, that works against me a little bit. When this car was wrecked, it had a 66 360 horse 396 intake on it. And really, that's what I wanted. But there wasn't one out here, and nobody I knew had one. And I've looked for 2 years to try to find an intake for this engine because this car had one on it when it was wrecked. It wasn't supposed to have one. That wasn't the factory intake, but Dad put one on it because he wanted to run a Holly. So I bought one. That's a 66, I think. It could be a 67, but 350 or 360 horse intake. I don't know how many people have seen one of them. Apparently, they're fairly rare, but he sold his for $50. I guess if you account for inflation, I paid that for it. But I wanted a specific intake, and I could have got different ones at the price range that was. I could have got one that was restored and everything. I didn't want a restored intake because look at that. So I kind of had to settle for one that was, it's stock, it's original, it's not been butchered. I'm going to clean this up inside and out the best I can. And then I'm going to put it on my car in a future video. And I'll show you changing it and everything. But I wanted just to show you what I wanted to run, and kind of mention a little bit of why. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments, and I'll see you again next time.